Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Naka Design. Let me begin with a very crucial question. Why do I only think of putting hand lotion on before I'm about to start a video? Anyone know the answer to that? Maybe because I don't want to scare you with chapped hands. Okay, I managed to clean a spot on my desk so I could actually do a video. I've been doing dribs and drabs and lots of little time-filling type activities as we continue to wait for the crops to be ready and the weather to be favorable to start our harvest. As I've said recently, if you're one of the people who's been asking about it and sort of praying for a successful harvest and getting finished and maybe getting started, I very much appreciate that. Okay, I obviously had many things in the works and on the back burner and the front burner and boiling over. But yet, when I found out about Meg at Chasing Retro's open collab called Ready, Set, Stash, it seemed like I needed to drop everything and take part. So by now you've probably heard about it. This sheet with these prompts are available on her coffee shop, and no rules essentially, and no particular prescribed date for posting it or the order in which you do them or whatever. So I've kind of added little stars for the ones I've done. Fabric tags, Franken paper, maybe hasn't aired, but it's done. And then this one is what I'm calling Ephemera using children's book illustrations. So you may, if you're familiar with the, what is it, Children's Garden of Verse or something, Robert Louis Stevenson, then these illustrations will look familiar to you. And because I had been deconstructing a book, I thought, okay, this is perfect. I don't need to look for anything else. I will use these. Now, I've also shown you these calendar pages that are, well, okay, just to give you an idea of what this calendar is about. Computational biology is the integration of mathematics, bioinformatics, and biology to understand complex biological systems. Travel through the 3D genome following it as the chromatin unwinds within the nucleus. So I have no idea if that describes what was on this page, but I have others of these. They're a nice weight, and I thought, what better background to use for this than something that was black and white? Now, the reason I have my big boy Fiskars cutter here is because, I mean, obviously you didn't need to see me select the paper. You didn't need me to see me tear these illustrations out. But maybe you are interested in seeing the minimal decoration that I'm going to do to them. So I thought, if like me, you do things like this, the challenge now is going to be to cut these out and not make any mistakes and cut something that shouldn't be cut. So because this has this hole for hanging, I think I'll start there. Now, these are going to be broad cuts to begin with. And I think my intention is going to be to have tiny little borders around each item. Now, it doesn't help that they're different sizes and even different shapes, but maybe what I'll do is some broad cuts right off the bat, and then trim it down to something more manageable. Whoa, that's close. Holy cow. Okay, set that aside. Now I might have to cut this way because, so again, I'm just leaving about 1/8, and I don't know, I hope you can see that, leaving about 1/8 of an inch. But I guess, you know, in some cases, if I can leave more, I will, but okay, we'll set that aside. Set this one. I guess I could go a little bit more there. Okay, I'll get rid of this just to have a wee bit more space and pull up the other Fiskars, the guillotine style cutter. And I was, you know, again, time, not wait, killing time kind of activities. I was also wrapping around tongue depressors, or the oversized, whoopsie, the oversized craft sticks. I was doing some of that, and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe I should stop in my tracks and just keep some of this stuff handy to use to decorate and sort of kill two birds with one stone. Anyway, okay, so there, well, I might be able to use some of those. Okay, so here, maybe I'll just cut this down the middle and see how that looks. Now, the back is going to be fine as is. The weight is great for a card. Maybe this is not quite as smart an idea as I thought it was. Don't you hate when that happens? Or maybe I would have been better off inking around, I'm not really an inker, but inking around these images before. Maybe I'm being too critical. I don't know. Well, let's finish cutting and see what the verdict will be. Okay, I can split the difference here. Oh, that doesn't seem very straight, does it? Love that little guy on his throne. Okay, I love, okay, there are two. Look at those two, aren't they the sweetest? Don't know if they're dolls or children. I guess they're probably dolls. Okay, here I have a very, very narrow border, so I guess I better stick with that plan on this one. And I can do the same here. I could leave the bottom wider. You know, like if you've ever seen gallery framing on art pieces, sometimes they'll have a teeny tiny little piece of work and a gigantic mat around it, or three sides will be narrower and the bottom will be huge. Okay, let's see what we want to do here. I will just, this is like a serrated edge here, so let's get rid of that. And I'm going to leave my options open, because depending how the decorating goes, I could always trim these after the fact if they're looking a bit weird. I should try to, okay, this bed here on the cutter is 5 inches. I should try to leave that 5 inches so it could be a pocket. A pocket. And what are we doing here? very narrow at the top. I'll make this one very narrow all the way around. This is not, oh, I guess I'm committed to that. This is not a very exact science because, of course, they're torn images. And I was just eyeballing them. That's not great. I might have to do something at the bottom there to disguise the fact that I didn't do a great job of cutting. Okay. Well, maybe I shouldn't put this too far away. Probably need it again. So let's just see what we can see. This is the one that was 5 inches, yes. Now the other thing that oh, see, that has that serrated thing on the top. I should get rid of that. The other thing I've been doing, whether I've videotaped it or not, I guess is another thing, is trying to do some doodling and mark making and so on. So what I was doing last night, that's almost 5. Almost 5, but then I'd have to really do something special there. 4 1/4. What I was doing last night was, if you remember when I had my I did that video on using Anaglypta wallpaper. So that's the paintable, the very textured paintable wallpaper. It's always like sort of a soft white. And I had tried my garage sale purchase of tie dye. It had, I mean, the results were pretty interesting. And then, of course, as it thoroughly dried, it sort of crystallized. And I didn't know if that was because it was old or what. But anyway, I started working on that last night. And kind of pleased where that one particular piece is going. So I will do, once I have, enough to show you, I will do another video about that. The reason I brought that up, though, is because I could use some markers. Which one do I care the least about here to just practice on? Better not forget that this is the right way up. Okay, maybe this one, not the greatest, maybe in the bunch. Okay, so if this is just a wing and a prayer here. I'd say that's maybe would blue make an impact? Got a couple, and this is just, what was within easy reach. Those two are the same. I see this little bit of something blue here also. Oh, and I also have this thing. Seems to me I asked you guys to vote on this, but I don't know if that video has aired or not. See, that helps too. But let's doodle something first. I also have this, but it's not going to match any of those blues. I could maybe do this flower thing here, since he's watering flowers. Let's still do some doodling first. Not necessarily doodling, it's just doing some loose It would be the equivalent of crazy stitching, just to make it seem like maybe there was a plan here. It wasn't just random goofiness. And I don't know, is this going to be, maybe I should just color this in here. You know, when you start thinking about mixed media or throwing caution to the wind, this is a little bit out of character for me. Not that I don't like it, but it's just, it seems like most of the time I stick with more predictable options. And who wants to be predictable? Okay. What size is this anyway? Almost 4 by, well, okay, so it is definitely a square. Now what I could do is let this, glue this down and let this be like a tuck spot here. Would have been nice if I'd have brought my glue over. Hey, 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 hey. I'm sort of spoiled by having my cart a little closer, and I can just reach for things. But okay, the other thing I could do, now those all have blue outlines around them, but I also could add other, oh, is this one drying up? I didn't realize this was drying up. This will be its last gasp here. Or maybe I'm just not making great contact. Now it almost feels like I need to add pink. And of course, could have colored the boy too. Maybe I'll color that flower there. Okay. Let's trim this baby off. Let us, I think I will, okay, I'll first attach the left-hand side of the ribbon to know that it's going to be staying put. Okay, so that's our starting point. Now, if I want, what would actually, well, I guess a ticket or something like that could fit. Whoa. So much for the quick grab. It is September 21st when I'm taping this. And we, touch wood, we have yet to have our first frost. But I noticed when I got up today, it was only +4. So I'm thinking that I should probably pick my tomatoes and call it a day as far as those guys are concerned. Okay, maybe I will just simplify my life and make the whole darn thing a tuck spot and not worry about my fancy little idea there. Well, that has brought this to life, hasn't it? And I think the point is that if you, oh dear, how come it slid over? If you, now it looks short. I might have to take a little hair's width off there. That if you just limit yourself to what is within reach, what Kim used to call arm's length art, then it is, you're forced to maybe step outside your comfort zone and create things that are maybe a little more daring, a little more interesting than what you typically would. Now, obviously I could still add a sentiment or a label or something, you know, over there, but we'll stop there with that one. Now I have this hot pink, which I thought would be darn cute on something. And I'm not going to decorate all of these clearly. Also have, but that's not good together. I also have these colors that I'm not very fond of, so maybe I should use them instead. Oh, and I didn't use this on this. Oh, look how cute that is. Let's use this on the edge of that pocket. Maybe that would be a great personal challenge, particularly if you're the kind of person that, you know, ferrets around your studio space or your supplies to get a million pieces of stuff. I'd better stick something in there to make sure I don't accidentally glue that down. Boy, that is shallow. Well, better the tag than the creator, eh? Don't want a shallow creator. I think I need to get in there because it's, surely I didn't put such a wide bead of glue on there. At least I hope I didn't. Because really, what good is a tuck spot if it's only a 1/4 inch deep? Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, I said I didn't care for these colors. Maybe I should use this one. One little thing by itself. This was something that came from Angela. Something was wrapped around that. Oh, that's better. Okay, let's do something with this. she had wrapped something around the tool, and we've got a big open space there. So maybe what I should do is just hack off a piece. Sometimes tearing is even better. Maybe let's do another. So we got some random kind of things. Okay, this maybe will end up having to be a pocket if so I could glue that down, and then I could do something with the rickrack. Another thing, but that's the wrong green. Maybe I could sacrifice a purple flower. Did I lose one? Oh, there it is. I think I'm going to cut these down even smaller. I'll use it all, but it will be easier to stack it. And I'll have more interesting edges. See, I never think of plugging in and having ready my glue gun. This would have been a good job for a glue gun. Or you know what else would work? Sorry, now I'm having to travel around here. As Gail Augustinelli would say, talk amongst yourselves. What I'm ferreting around for are some brads. Oh. Sorry guys, I hate to be one of those people that is running around. Happiness. Oh, that could be a good one. I could, now this is actually an eyelet. Boy. That's kind of impressive. Where else would I use something like that? Let's cut off a little. Now we probably wouldn't, we don't want to have to put an eyelet through the rickrack, but okay. Now I need to go in the other direction and see if this is going to work. So I'm going to use the 3/16 because I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Boy, I hope that's an eyelet. I guess. Let's not complicate it with that. It's going to be about an inch in either direction from there, so. Okay, then we slide that over to the crimping part. I'm just going, now by doing this, these things will be all poofy, and I won't have to worry about gluing them and holding them forever and a day. And all I'm going to do is essentially poke a hole so that I can put this thing through. I guess that wasn't the greatest idea. Let me do something else. I'm going to gather it up and just snip the tip off so that I have a better, a more distinct hole. If I can find it, I'll be in business. Okay, there. Okay, do we all have our fingers crossed? That seems like it's in, whoops, in place. Just stand up, put a little more pressure on. Cats meow, baby. Now, it's not quite as poofy as, I mean, it's still good, but it's, I guess what I miscalculated on was because this is so big, it's obviously going to flatten around there. Okay, I've cut this, so clearly I should be using it. But maybe what I need to do instead is cut a longer piece so that I have enough to do across this seam. Probably fabric tack is better. Well, I'm getting my steps in anyway. So far I've done, what, 4? Crazy. Okay, while that is, whoops, while that is trying to work its way down, whoopsie, work its way down a bit, I'll just wind up that other ribbon. And clearly I'm not going to be showing you everything here because this is, I'm sure this is somewhat painful. But I know I've given you peeks into my head before, and you weren't scared off, near as I could tell, so maybe it's not quite as scary in there as I think sometimes. Okie dokie. Now, if I really wanted to be wild and crazy, I could put another one of these. Where'd the others go? Maybe I should use, oh, this is just a brad. Okay, I can use that because as it is, it's already going to be a wee bit lumpy bumpy there. I'm just going to, not attempting to do total coverage here, but trying to get a little bit on, you know, the peaks and valleys, because that's, of course, where it would lift. Guess I didn't need to go right to the end because I purposely cut it a little longer. Cool. Okay. So for this, almost feels like it should be at the opposite corner of that one. And I will use a teeny weeny little punch. I was able to find these punches in the 2 smaller sizes, you know, smaller than traditional. That's fairly long. I could almost do it right through the, I think I can do it right through the rickrack. I should have done it a bit lower instead of covering up her feet or her shoe. That looks kind of playful, doesn't it? And of course, at some other point, not right now, I would cover these prongs up with probably washi tape or paper or something. A little issue there. How are we doing for time? Oh my goodness, 35 minutes, and managed to do 2. But of course I had to go and get everything. I think I'm going to probably stop right there because I do have to, you know, keep making videos. But you can see where I'm going with these black and white on black and white background type ideas here. I will hopefully use this hot pink. I could also throw caution to the wind and mix my pinks. How's that for daring? Oh, I said I have to do, oh, you know what? I could easily do that. Which will be better though. Whoops, try pulling the right end of the pin. So there's that. Or that. Or, if in doubt, layer the 2. Yeah. I'll just quickly, and then at least we have 3 done. I'm using art glitter glue because of the layering and because that eyelet is fairly, whoops, almost dipped that in there, a close weave. Maybe slide this over a hair so I can trim it a nice clean edge there. Cool. Sometimes it's easier to cut straight if you look at it from the back side. And mind you, that covers up quite a bit of the eyelet. How off would this look? I don't like that. And we know it's all about pleasing moi. Yeah, this ended up being, oh, I better be careful. This is probably going to go through the ribbon. Oh, maybe I'll get away with it because it's got that wee bit of gathering there. Oh, and if I scrunch it up, this was probably a job for Fabri-Tac. See, that scrunching up helps if there was any bleed through. Oh, brother, it's not sticking worth anything. If there was any bleed through, it would be a lot harder to notice. Did I say that art glitter glue is my favorite because of the quick grab? It would be less, the bleed through would be less obvious because there's a distraction. and shadows and so on created by the kinks and the ruffly bits off the ribbon. Who would have thought that ruffling a 3-inch piece of ribbon could be such an endeavor? Okay, now we're stopping. Look at all the progress. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, and as I said, you know, a little tag, a sentiment, whatever, could also be the finishing touch here. Let's just see, do we have, what do we have, what do we have, what do we have? Thought I had some tickets nearby. Let's just take one of these and see how they, looky there. Wrong color ticket, but hey. You can put things in a shallow pocket. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop there. And again, don't forget, #ready, set, stash. Lots of fun. And we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.